Hello and welcome to WackyTechtips. I'm Saif Bukhari and today we are looking at the NZXT's Kraken X60 all-in-one closed-loop liquid CPU cooler. It's the first premium CPU cooling series by the company and it does have what it takes to amaze all you enthusiasts out there. Let's start with the obligatory sides of the package before we unbox it. It boasts of 2 years of a limited warranty period, which is pretty neat in itself. It has got this beautiful illuminated color-changing water block and pump. And here's your NZXT logo and the Kraken X60 name on the top. Overall, it has this really nice looking pic of the cooler itself in the front. On the right side, it shows the efficiency and surface area comparison with standard 240mm liquid cooler like the H100 or the H100i. And there we have the CPU socket compatibility information. Moving on to the other side, we have the distinct specifications of the cooler, including the copper water block with the pump, a detailed fans related information, 2 of them being included in the package, the radiator itself along with a really long rubber tube of almost 16 inches. There is that 2-year warranty information at the bottom. At the back we have a whole lot of text explaining the features in detail. It's world's first all-in-one 280mm cooler with a capacity to mount up to 4 140mm fans, a high performance pump and copper block with interactive fan controller, large tower support with the extended 16-inch tubing, a SATA power connector for ease of installation and effortless cable management, a completely sealed system backed by 2 years of warranty. And on the left, they have again implied that their main features with these sets of icons: the 140mm radiator, the interactive fan controller, 16-inch long tubing, and the cool hue controlled pump lights. Box arrived in a plastic shrink wrap, and as you can see, there is a harmless ding on the top right corner. I'll quickly unbox this for you now. There it is, the Kraken X60, ladies and gentlemen, right here at our studios in Mumbai. This is also the most costliest of all the closed loop coolers out there in the market, with a price tag of around $136, which translates to a cool 8,000 Indian rupees. Starting with the dual 140mm standard NZXT fans, we all know these fans for a while now. They have done and performed quite well of late. Moving on to the CPU mounts of Intel and AMD respectively, all nicely packed. The Kraken software CD, which we shall come on to later. Then there is this user manual with all the required instructions for installation, again for both Intel and AMD based CPU sockets. This manual is pretty concise, brief and self-explanatory. There goes the good stuff, folks. Let me warn you that this radiator is huge, but it's not so heavy, which makes it even more attractive. The rubber tubing is very robust and have no fear while handling them with ease. This is certainly not going in all the cases, but by far the importance of 140mm fans is not new to the gaming fraternity. This part of the pump glows in the dark and has a logo of NZXT. So I was saying that the enthusiast gamers do understand the advantage of this size, and hence generally this is targeted to the enthusiast class people who need the most out of this setup. Moving forward, these are the nicely braided cables all tied up, the fan connectors, the SATA connector and the USB header connector. The tubing used to connect the rad and the head of the unit is made of high quality rubber and is very flexible, which allows it to turn and twist in several different directions without tearing it. And this is the copper block under this plastic cover. Its surface is pretty clear and it comes with a pre-applied thermal compound. Although I'm using Arctic Silver 5 for a long time now and will bet on that for this system setup too. Here's a nice view of all what it takes to hit the deck of any hot CPU out there. This is strictly for your viewing pleasure. The pump and the water block itself are all one unit, allowing for a very clean install. It has a rotation speed of 2900 RPM operating at 12 volts, and at 16 inches long, it should easily support some of the larger full-sized tower cases out there. And if they can't fit it, well, they aren't big enough. What say? Tripping on some cables here, we have the CPU 3-pin fan cable. Then there is this long USB header for the ultimate and yet simple fan controller. It's nicely braided too. The SATA power connector, and it's worth mentioning here that the entire system is powered off of a 15-pin SATA controller, making it easy and one less Molex needing to be installed, which ultimately helps in the cable management. The 2 fans and 2 more optional fans can be connected directly via this splitter to the head. The radiator of the X60 measures 12.3 inches long and 5.44 inches wide, and the unit is made of all aluminum. Notice here that the nicely vented fins with no bends or dents anywhere. If certain benchmarks are to be believed, then this pump and water block beats almost all the coolers out there, with a tad exception of the Thermaltake Water 2.0 Extreme. This killer trio combination of long tube, robust pump and the largest all-in-one radiator, at least in this category, takes the crown from all other players currently in the market. This is the cool, innovative hue-controlled lighting system effect, which creates an amazing glow in the dark, and it's an uncompromised look for any enthusiast who will love to show off. The Kraken control software has tons of features in it, yet it still manages to have a very smooth interface and is nice and easy to use. If you just want to see the temperatures of your cooler and the vital stats, you can easily find them. But if you want more detailed information or to tweak your settings, you can also easily do that with only a couple of clicks of your mouse. To sum up, the dual 140mm radiator has proven to be a big help for NZXT to stay ahead well in the competition of the likes of H100i and in some cases the Thermaltake Water 2.0 Extreme. I know I'm getting one of these for my setup, which has been off late on a bed-ridden air cooler serving my 3770K, and honestly this update will be like lots of steroids but only with lasting performance results. This has been Saif Bukhari, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and stay tuned for some more unboxing and tech related videos. To the rhythm.